Welcome into Ravens Rundown on a Friday. Tyler Jones here with you. Appreciate you joining us. We are powered by Chat Sports. On today's show, we will catch up to speed with the latest Ravens news and rumors. And let's go ahead and get started with Lamar Jackson. His contract situation has not been solved yet. We are still playing the waiting game at this point. The latest as things stand right now, Lamar's prepared to handle the contract on a year-to-year basis. He's entering the final year of his rookie deal. That fifth-year option next year could potentially play on a franchise tag and all of that before he could be paid. That is realistic. That's a possibility at this point. However, there's no indication that Lamar will have a long-term holdout. He was not at OTAs, but John Harbarugh and company have said that they anticipate Lamar to come back and to be a part of the organization for the rest of the offseason at this point. But, you know, when I look at Lamar Jackson and, you know, it's not even a holdout officially. He'll be at minicamp more than likely when it's all said and done. Lamar is, I think, betting on himself. That's the term that I keep pointing to because Lamar knows that the money's there. And the longer this drags on, assuming he stays healthy and plays well, that means more money in his pocket. So the Ravens are in a situation where they would like to get a deal done so they have to pay him less to get this over with. Lamar kind of is in the driver's seat, essentially. The longer this goes and he does what he's supposed to do, then the more money will be available to him. We'll have more on this in just a second. But before we do that, if you're excited to see Lamar Jackson back with the Ravens this year, like the video. Show your excitement for Lamar. Smash that like button and show Lamar Jackson some love if you're ready to see him come back to the Baltimore Ravens this year. Jeremy Fowler of ESPN, he talked about the contract situation for Lamar Jackson. Here's what he had to say. I spoke to a source who said Lamar Jackson is prepared to remain patient. He's not overly eager still to do a deal, even though the Ravens would like this to heat up sometime in the next 6 weeks leading up to training camp. I'm told that Jackson knows where the Ravens stand. He knows they want to do a long-term deal, but this is going to take a high-tax bracket deal. It's going to need to be in that $43 million per year or more range, and it's uncertain as of now if the Ravens will get that far. I'm told that Jackson knows that the Ravens are loosely prepared to franchise tag him in 2023 in the absence of a deal, and that he's not scared or worried about that. If this has to go even sort of year to year, or if this has to bleed into the season, he's prepared for all scenarios and knows that he needs to maximize his worth here. So he's not really sweating it. The Ravens, as of now, are not sweating it. There's plenty of time to figure out this summer. So basically, in a nutshell, what that all means for Lamar Jackson, as a Tribe Called Quest once said, scared money don't make none. That's what we're looking at with Lamar right now. He is putting it all out on the line, saying that, look, it's up to you guys. You figure it out. I know my money's coming one way or the other at this point. That's what this comes down to. Lamar, pretty confident. The Ravens, they would like to get this done sooner rather than later. But Lamar Jackson knows that his money is going to be there, so he's being pretty patient. And he's representing himself. Remember, his mom is essentially his agent right now. So a fascinating situation we will continue to follow here on the Rundown. Our pinned comment today, what type of contract will Lamar Jackson sign? Will it be long-term? Will it be short-term? Let me know in the comment section one way or the other. Type L for long-term. Type S for short-term. You're about to get an ad break. Take advantage of it. While that ad's playing, get your votes in. L for long-term, S for short-term. All right, let's take a look at the highest-paid quarterbacks in the National Football League. As you can see, Aaron Rodgers leading the way at $50 million. Deshaun Watson at $46 million. Patrick Mahomes at $45. Josh Allen at $43. And Dak Prescott at $40 million. As you can see, just a lot of money being thrown around at these quarterbacks right now where things stand with what they are being paid. This is record money that we're seeing these quarterbacks get, which is just not comparable to anything we've seen before. It's a result of where the salary cap has gone with these new TV rights negotiations. Lamar is prepared to handle that contract on a year-by-year basis. Final year of the rookie deal, no indication that Lamar will have a long-term holdout at this point in time. Moving on, Willie Snead played for the Ravens in 2018, had some not-so-kind words to say about offensive coordinator Greg Roman. We will tell you what those are in just a second, but before we do, I want to make sure that my fans of the flock are dressed appropriately, that you get your hands on this Ravens t-shirt and hat combination. Best part about it, it's 40% off for my Ravens Rundown viewers. And the only way you can get your hands on this combo is by going to chatsports.com/RavensCombo. You can see it looks awesome, and you get it now. You'll have it in plenty of time before the season starts as well. Get it now. Chatsports.com/RavensCombo, 40% off that t-shirt and hat combo today. So here's what Willie Snead had to say about Greg Roman's offense. Yeah, it's tough when we're comparing Greg Roman to Sean Payton's offense or Greg Roman to John Gruden's offense. It's night and day. There's a lot more creativity in the passing game. If the Ravens had more creativity in the passing game and they more emphasize on it during the season, I think more receivers would be open to coming. Besides Lamar, because Lamar is a great player to play with, he's all about the team. He's fun. He brings the energy every single day. You want to push quarterbacks like that, but the system pushes guys away. So, more on this from Des Bryant, what he had to say in this regard. This was a couple days ago. This was on the 9th. Des Bryant tweeted out, drafting a guy like Lamar should be easy to build around. I remember watching Lamar in college. His ability clearly translated to the NFL, including his style of play. A quarterback with supernatural abilities like 8 should make any defense play fair with one-on-one matchups across the field. So, you see all that and some high criticisms for Greg Roman. And it wasn't too long ago that Greg Roman was viewed so highly across league circles. But because we've seen teams start to figure out how to slow down Lamar Jackson and that we haven't seen the playoff success, all the pressure, all the questions are on Greg Roman entering 2022. And then it becomes, is John Harbarugh showing too much loyalty to his coordinators? That is a very fair and honest question. To that I would say, though, look back at just a few months ago when John Harbaugh ended up firing his defensive coordinator, Don Martindale, back in January. So, John Harbaugh has shown the ability to pull the plug, but if Greg Roman does not get the results that this team demands, and Lamar does not take that next step of growth that he needs to as a passer, then is it time to make a change? A lot of pressure on Greg Roman entering 2022. Question today in the comment section. Let me know. Does Greg Roman put a ceiling on Lamar Jackson with his scheme? Fair question. Let me know. Type Y for yes, type in for no if you think one way or the other on that, if Greg Roman puts a ceiling on Lamar with his scheme. While you're down there, hit the subscribe button. Ravens Rundown bringing you content each and every day here on the channel as we break down this Ravens team on all fronts. The offseason through training camp, counting you down to kickoff. We'll have this team covered like no one else will. YouTube.com/RavensTV. Subscribe now and turn on those notifications. That's YouTube.com/RavensTV. Let's go to Josina Anderson of CBS Sports. A report out this week in regards to Jason Pierre-Paul, JPP. Anderson writes, my understanding is the Ravens' visit with Jason Pierre-Paul went well after a long day from his physical to meeting with folks. Pierre-Paul, who was still meeting as about less than a couple hours ago per source. We'll see if both sides can get something done moving forward. Look, JPP, I think he's still got something left in the tank at this point. And when he arrived in Tampa Bay, many people think he didn't have anything left then and had a pretty dang good run, including a Super Bowl title there with Tampa Bay, where he played relatively well here. So, Jason Pierre-Paul, at this point, if you can get him at a discount, if he's not going to cost you too much, we already know this Ravens defense is going to be really good. But they still have a few holes here and there. Jason Pierre-Paul could be a good stopgap option for this year. You look at the numbers. You can see back in 2018, 12 and a half sacks. 2019 and 20 had 8+ sacks. Last year, not so great. If you can get him with what you saw in 2020 and 2019 to those type of numbers at a discounted rate, I think you're feeling pretty good if you're the Baltimore Ravens at this point. Let me know in the comments section. Would you sign Jason Pierre-Paul? If you had the opportunity to bring him to Baltimore, would you do so? Type 1 for yes, type 2 for no if you would sign JPP. That's 1 for yes, 2 for no. And we want to make sure that you're subscribed to the channel. Hope you have a great weekend, but make sure you're back here on Monday as we'll be covering this team inside and out here on the Ravens Rundown. YouTube.com/RavensTV.